all that done. Here we go. So I just went live. Let's see if it connects. Connect streaming software to go live. Yep. There it went. I don't have a picture yet, but it's going. Oh, we got a picture. So let's see if I can find it over here on our channel. Let's see. I'm trying to keep myself in this picture frame, in this thing here. But it's a little interesting. I should probably comb my hair for these things. Oh, there it is. Boom. You should be able to see it. Just mute it. Yep. It's running.
Live.
Yep, it's running. Got it. All right.
Test for the reboot. Here we go. So if I open the link, if I go to the link, I should be able to see it, right?
Yeah, if you go to the channel, you should be able to see it. I gotta get me a headphone so I can look all official. Maybe I just put these on, even though they ain't connected to nothing. But who has to know, right? There.
All right, so I just muted it.
Okay, now I can be all official looking. Now I got headphones.
The headphones.
Yep. You want to just run through some stuff just for shits and
I'm going to change out. I don't like these headphones. They sound fine and they block out all the noise. But I can't hear what I'm saying in them. So I feel like I'm yelling the whole time.
Oh, well, I don't need the headphones anyway, so there's that. So, all right.
You don't need them?
No, I don't, because it's playing through the iPad. I don't have the rest of the stuff hooked up because there's there's like other things that I can hook up to this thing to do audio and mics and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not doing that. So, but we can go ahead and we can do a little something if you want.
Did you mute everything?
Huh?
Oh, there you are. I see. Okay.
So I don't know. Let me see. Let me make sure we're getting sound. It might sound.
I see. Okay.
There you go. So I don't know. Let me see. Let me make sure we're getting sound. It might sound. Okay. So the thing I was checking was to make sure that we weren't getting any lag or anything like that between between the video and the audio side. So we're not. So it's going out. It's going out synced, which is nice. The picture's actually pretty good, I gotta say.
The picture's good. It is really delayed though for me. It's very disconcerting to try to watch it and listen.
No. I mean, we're not going to watch it when we're doing the live, but the thing that's important is that when you talk on the screen, the audio lines up. I mean, the fact that it's delayed for us doesn't. There's nothing we can do about that because of the RSMTP thing.
Right. It's just like if you're.
And I can see the comments in real time on my laptop. I mean, on my
iPad.
I think I can. Normally I can, but the way we have it connected, I may not be able to. So
gotcha.
I just gotta figure it all out because I'm using it with 2 accounts, and I don't want right now. Not that this isn't important to me because it is, but the priority is I got to keep my YouTube live thing going for Dreadnought Woodshop. So I don't want to change it and screw it up. So we got to figure out how both of them work. I mean, this is working just fine. I mean, it's working.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And I mean, worst case scenario, what we can do is just like I'm at my desk right now, so I can put this on a side screen and I use it just to keep an eye on the chat.
Yeah, I feel like I almost don't have to watch the screen. Just act like I'm on a cell phone call or a telephone call. And that way I don't see the delays. It doesn't set me off.
when we're having that, let me see. I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I could like put it over here, right, and then just make the window bigger so I can't see it. Make the window bigger so all I can see is the side with the chat on it. No, not really. That didn't work at all.
Welcome everyone to Making Time. Currently, we're making time to
make time to talk about making time
to spend time with you.
Yeah, talking about. I was thinking about that the other day. I was in my car, right, and I was thinking about it, and I was like,
where some of
funny.
Our best thinking is done.
Yeah, it's funny because, the show is called Making Time, and I think it's a great title, right? But I was thinking about it myself. I was like, we're making time. We're making time for making time to talk to people about making time.
Right.
It's
like, what is that called? Making time inception.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just the way my mind works, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I was thinking about a lot of things. I was thinking about, I don't know. I was thinking about all kinds of stuff. We got big things happening over here. So So hey,
yeah,
you want to try to format this out to be an episode? I mean,
it's up to you.
We've been monkeying about for 6 minutes.
6 months?
6 minutes.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to get everything kind of set up. We can always edit it, go back and just take off that beginning part.
Yeah. So for anybody that has stumbled upon this video and tuning in, whether live or not, the idea is that we're gonna reboot Making Time, obviously, and we had planned on doing the first one today, but we had technical difficulties, but we got those worked out. So next time it'll be more together.
Yeah, I mean, trying to figure out like how just simple things like which microphone is working, the direction of the cameras. So like everything is the opposite of what you think it should be.
Yeah.
So right now I'm trying to set up my camera so that I'm in the center, and I was fine until I moved, but
yeah, it's just the little things we'll have to iron out. But it's funny because it's basically we've been struggling for probably the last few months to make time for this.
Ironically.
Yeah, isn't it? But the thing is, it come down to the way a lot of things happen. For me, anyway, is it comes down to, well, I set a goal to do a thing, and maybe I couldn't get everything set up ideal, for the ideal situation that I wanted, but I just go for it, just do it, So we just basically, we just made time to do it, and we're just like, that's it, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna just see how it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure out.
And last time we got hung up. The last time we were doing the podcast, we got hung up on little logistical things like who's gonna edit and who's gonna this and who's gonna that and how are we gonna this and how are we gonna that. So this time, we're just gonna do this free flow from the start and just try to find a flow. We're gonna have a couple of bumpy episodes, and we're gonna try to find a path forward that works. That both of us can handle. Our situations. Well, Chad's situation has changed dramatically already, and I'm in the midst of change. So, Chad, you want to talk about how things have changed since the last time you were on the podcast?
Wow. So that's been, what, 2 years?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a while. So February of 2020, I had a conversation with my business partner of 23 years, I think. Anyway, I just basically expressed that I wasn't happy and I wanted to move on to something else. And I was enjoying what I was doing in the maker community, side of my life, and I was making money doing it. So it just seemed like a good time to kind of launch. And I don't know if people really had thought about it, but February of 2020 was just before it seemed like the wheels of the world were coming off. My launch date was March of 28th. That was going to be my last day at work. I was supposed to head to Chicago to do something with HTP, my welding sponsor, and I had plan after plan after plan after plan lined up in 2020. And all that said, all the things that got canceled, all the things I wasn't able to do, the year turned out just flat out amazing. For me personally, obviously, there's a lot of people that wasn't so good, but from a financial standpoint, it was a really good year. And I mean, I don't know, it just worked out, even though the things that I was looking forward to totally collapsed as the days went on. I was supposed to go to Steel USA for um, a new product event. I was supposed to be at Maker Summer Camp up in Cleveland. Um, I was supposed to be and those were like teaching opportunities where I was going to be teaching other people how to powder coat. And I think the next one was the Good of the Land Festival out in Texas, the Maker Camp up in New York, and all those things fell to the wayside. Things that I was really like, they were on my calendar. I was excited about them. I had, I don't know, just really exciting things going on, and they didn't happen. But in the meantime, though, the financial side of things were just great. So I don't really have any complaints about 2020. 2021 was a little different. Uh, I actually got to go to some events. I got COVID. Um, just, it was a different kind of year. I went to welding school for 4 months at Georgia Trade School, not sponsored. Um, let's see, injured my neck, got a C6, C7 injury. So it was a crazy year.
So, yeah, man, sounds like you had a lot going on. Oops,
Did you
I hit
turn
the
your
wrong. No, I'm trying to figure all this out. I think, did I lose you? Uh-oh. That's not good. Hey, Chad. I don't know what happened. Oh, there you go. Say. Not sure if you're talking or not, but I can't hear you. Chad? Can't hear you.
How about now?
Yeah. Good, good. We're good.
All right.
All right. So let me see if
So
I can fix this view real quick.
what I was saying is, don't. Well, all I saw on my screen was just me.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
all I saw was just me.
and
There we go.
now we switch sides. Now I'm really confused.
Yeah.
Actually, that works better because I can look at. Oh no, go back.
Hang on, I'm working on it. I think I finally got it. Oop, I think I
But
finally got
if you're on, no, flip us. Can you flip us?
it. That's
The
how this
reason why
started.
is because if you flip us, I'll be looking at the center of my screen, and it
Uh-huh.
looks like I'm looking at whoever's out there watching.
Okay. All right.
Which
So
side am I on for you? Am I in the middle or
you're
on your side? Oh no.
there we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Better?
So what happened was it went full screen for me,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Uh oh." So
No,
I tried to click on.
I did that because you were talking. It
Oh,
didn't
okay.
occur to me to do that earlier, but since you were telling your story, I mean, why have me sitting here, looking all over the place and bobbing around and stuff when I could
I
just
gotcha. Okay. It was
when I could
intentional.
just
Well,
I just have you go solo so you can talk.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I learned something. I'll anticipate that in the future.
Yeah. Well, we're figuring this out, right?
Absolutely.
We're figuring this
Yeah.
out.
So I ended up trying to scroll around on my page trying to figure out how to get you back. And I hit the red button. I hit the red X.
Well, that's good. That's good to do that because the
Better
thing
to do
is,
it now than 2 weeks from now.
right. So as we go along, we'll get better. We'll get better with this production thing.
Our goal is to do this every week.
Yeah, but for now,
Okay.
we probably should shoot for like every other week and see how that goes for a little bit. You think?
Okay. Yeah, we'll have a lot more to talk about.
Yeah. Well, on the 28th. Oh, it won't affect us because we're going to be doing this on Tuesday. But on the 29th through the the 20th. Man, I got to get my dates right. The 29th, 28th, and 29th. I'll be demonstrating for Robert Sorby at the Tennessee Association of Woodturners Symposium in Nashville.
So that's Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. I got to get this iPad up because it looks like I'm sleeping. I got to get this thing up so I can see what's happening. Let's see.
I gotcha.
Maybe if I put it over here, maybe that'll be better. So I'm not like there. That's a little better. So at least I'm like looking up where you can see.
You need to put a camera above your iPad, a camera where you are now, and then another camera. That way, as you turn your head, you can switch.
Yeah. So let's see. I could just move this over. Oh,
your system. Oh, look at all that beautifulness.
Oh, that's even better. That worked out awesome.
You need to paint a big Dreadnought logo behind you.
It's in the works. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on in here. Here, you want to check out my new desk? Let me see if I can find it. I don't know how good a picture I'm going to be able to get, but let's see. All right, so it was supposed to go. Oh, I know what's happening now.
Is that pine?
Yeah, it is. But I know what's going on now. I know how to fix it, but I'm not going to worry about it for right now.
All right.
So this, it's a mess.
Wow. Look at that.
This is my new desk, right? And it's
is that one that raises and lowers?
Yeah, so it's height adjustable, so I can.
Where'd you get that?
I bought it on. Believe it or not, I got it from Walmart.com. Obviously, I haven't dealt with the cable management there or back there, but it's kind of cool because I put this little riser. I turn these little risers on the lathe, and then instead of putting it on a mount, I put it on a shelf up here. Put the monitors on a shelf, which is nice because I got the speakers up higher. Of course, my little tiny Nintendo thing, And right now I got the iPad sitting up there. And so far, so good. So far, I'm pretty happy with it.
Wow.
But this also, let's see, that does a good job of, did that take me back to, yeah. So
it's back on you.
Here. So me and the guy that I work with from Switcher Studio, Clay, we've been trying to set up some new features with this software, so that we can so the switching works better. Because what I want is to be able to set it up. Like, for instance, like right now, I would love to have an icon for you, like with Mancrafting, and an icon for me with Dreadnought, and then across the top of Making Time, right? So that we can really advertise all the brands, right? So
right.
I've been working with him to try to get the developers to add a couple features to the software. So, but anyway, all right. So let's see. You talked about what happened to you since the last time you were on the podcast. Let me talk about what's happened for us since the last time I was on the podcast. So, wow, it's like you said, it's been a while, and 2020 went okay for us. I had the opportunity to do a number of social media things, like TikTok had the EduTalk initiative, and I was able to participate in that. Chad actually participated in that as well. And then there were a couple other things. A startup, an app called Tangi, which apparently has gone to the wayside. Chad was involved with that too. So I was able to do those things, and it really helped because a lot of my shows got canceled during 2020 due to COVID. And then, unfortunately, towards the end of summer, I got COVID in 2020, and it was, I wouldn't call it a mild case, but it wasn't really bad. And then fast forward to 2021, it went pretty much like everybody else's 2021 kind of went. And I have been able to do a few more shows, but unfortunately, about in July again, I got COVID a second time, and I was sick for a month that time, and it was pretty serious. But I made it through, and my wife ended up getting sick, and right now my oldest son and my youngest son have COVID, and so it's been a thing.
It's crazy.
And also,
it's just crazy.
Yeah, and also on a professional front, I am now a demonstrator for Robert Sorby Tools, one of two in the United States, demonstrator educator. And I travel around and I do demonstrations for them. Last time I was doing demonstrations for Nova. So, and in the time since then, I've also worked with Starbond, CA. I've worked with Easywood Tools and Carter Products, and a variety of other things. So, so that pretty much catches me up. Not terribly exciting, but there you go. But I do have, by the way, one piece of really big information which I've not shared publicly before, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now. So anybody who actually finds it, you're going to know about it before the rest of social media land does. My family and I were actually moving to South Carolina this summer, coming, somewhere around the end of May, early June, and after school gets out for my wife and kid, and I'll be going full time. So Chad and I have that in common.
Congrats. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I think that this time we really have a chance to. We should really have a chance to really do something good with this podcast because our situation's changing. Chad's has already changed his mind. We'll be changing this summer. So, yeah, cool stuff. And then Chad and I are closer together too, so we can do some. We can do some more live things and things like on location,
in person collaboration.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking forward to that.
Exactly.
So what have you been doing recently, like in the last week or two?
I've been working
projects.
I've been working on. Well, really, I'm trying to. It's. I don't know. Some days I don't even know. I don't even know what up or down is because I'm trying to. I'm trying to get ready for the move, and at the same time, we're having to downsize because my kids are grown and gone. Most of them. We only got the baby at home, and he's like the baby, right? But we're trying to downsize, so we're trying to eliminate enough stuff so that we can fit it into like half of the house that we have right now, and that's a challenge. There's a couple of little home improvement things that need to be done, and mostly I'm trying to develop some kind of workflow so that to help ensure that I'll be successful in my next venture, right? So one of those things is it hasn't been comfortable to work in here because I don't really have a proper desk, and it's been chaotic in this room, and it's hard to be in here to work. So I've been building out a desk and some other things in the office, and I moved a bunch of things over to another room because we have empty rooms now that I'm using as a craft room, like my 3D printer and my vinyl cutter and all that stuff's in another room. So I'm just trying to build some good habits and try to create an environment that's conducive to getting some work done so that moving forward I can start making some good habits. So
awesome. So any new tools or anything?
Oh yeah, I've added a ton of stuff lately. Fortunately,
we've had 2 years, So I'm expecting this to be a long list.
Oh, it is a long list. Nobody wants to be bored with that, but I'll give you the highlights. All right. So I upgraded the lathe. So I got a Powermatic now. I have a laser. I have a laser cutter engraver. So now I can be cool like Chad.
And you didn't just get like a simple little like 40 watt. You got something nice, right?
Yeah, I got a 60 watt OMT. It's a 20 by 28 bed. Yeah, it's nice enough. So I've been able to. I'm sorry.
Are you an affiliate with them?
No. Actually,
it's OMTech, right? OMT.
Yeah.
OM
You know
Tech.
what? That's a good point. I need to reach out to them about being an affiliate. I need to.
It's all you just do is go on a affiliate. You go to their website and they have like a link to it. All you gotta do is just fill it out.
Huh. I need to do that because I've talked to so many people about getting an OM Tech. I need to do that. I'm putting it in my browser right now on my list of things to do. So, but anyway, so the upgraded the lathe, bought a laser. Okay, I got a 3D printer. I've gotten a number of small tools, a lot of different things, which I'm going to be actually, some of that stuff is going to show up on my YouTube channel. I'm going to start doing like some reviews and things too. So, yeah. What about you, Chad?
Wow. I don't know what I had when we spoke last, but I have a plasma CNC.
Okay. You didn't have that.
So, I didn't have that?
No.
So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of sign type stuff. Even did a sign, actually, 3 signs for Montel Williams. Don't make me sing. He's a recording artist back, I don't know, however many years ago, and one of his big songs was "This Is How We Do It."
Yep, I remember.
So I will not sing. And so I've done 3 signs for him. His wife and him have a marriage ministry where they go around to different churches, and so we did a sign for their business. We did a sign for his wife for Mother's Day, which was last 2021. It was a large, basically scripture. And then we did one more sign for them. I mean, if it's not amazing enough that she's married to Montel Jordan, who's, a popular artist, whatever. Her dad is one of the guys from the famous photo from I think it's the '68 Olympics, where you see the two, I think they're track stars, that had like the gold and silver, and they hold up their fist. They do what is it? Let me go over here. Like that. They have and it has the flag behind them. You remember that?
Yep.
I mean, that's probably before your time, but it's so iconic that it's kind of still to this day an image that people should know, I would think. Anyway, so I did a sign that shows that image. I think I posted it. I definitely posted it on TikTok. May have posted it on Instagram. Unfortunately, I haven't been as regular on Instagram as I've been on TikTok, but I think when you get a level of like growth on one particular platform, you have a tendency to go all in on that platform, which I think is probably a bad move, but that's just kind of, you seek pleasure, right? So I was getting stuck on Instagram, and I'm still growing on YouTube, but I'm just not putting out a lot of YouTube. So that's my current goal, is to actually start posting regularly to all of my social media platforms. Get that going consistently.
You're getting ahead of us because we're going to talk about the resolutions next.
Wow.
Getting ahead of yourself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got the plasma CNC. I don't remember exactly when I was sponsored by HTP, but I've got welding equipment from them. And I actually have 2 CO2 lasers. I got an Aeon 100 watt CO2 laser. And a couple of these companies that make these smaller blue lasers have reached out to me in the short term, like in the last 2 months. So I've got two of those that are freestanding separate systems. And then I've got a third one that gets attached to a CNC. So I'm going to attach that to my work bee. I just got that today. Trying to think what else. Nothing real big. I've been working on converting a trailer, like a Vino's, just like a utility trailer, converting that into a camper. And then I got a bunch of small like Milwaukee tools for working on that, and just battery operated stuff. Nothing, I don't know, nothing like a 100-watt laser. You know what I mean? Like nothing big.
Right.
I'm trying to think anything else. Let's see. I got a bandsaw that's portable, like a portaband that's battery powered. That's a big tool because a big tool by, what's the word I'm trying to look for? What I'm trying to say is that it's not a big tool, but it's
a game changer.
A what?
Game changer.
Yeah. Because it's so portable. I can walk out to the middle of my backyard. I don't have to drag any, cables with me or anything. No power utilities, nothing. I can just go out there. And I was cutting up a bunch of metal that I had in the backyard to take over to the recycling bin. And when I say metal, I'm not talking about like useful, tube metal or, anything like that. This was just like an old piece of exercise equipment that I just wanted to get rid of. And you can't really just throw that in the garbage locally because it'll take up your whole garbage bin and you won't have any room for garbage. So we took it over to the recycling, and but that was great because I could just take that thing out there and it's a beast. It cuts up really well. I was super impressed.
Nice.
So I think that's it for me on tools.
Okay. So, okay. So let's talk about what we plan. What what resolutions are you gonna break this year?
Well, so I think, like for me, I don't generally make resolutions. I don't sit down and write down a list of things that I want to do, which is probably not a good idea because I know that if it's written down, it has a lot better chance of happening. But just in my own head, the things that are probably going to get cataloged and lost, uh, I want to make sure that I'm posting regularly to all of my different social media accounts. That's Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube are my primary. Instagram feeds everything to Facebook, so that's secondary. And then Twitter, I've never really understood Twitter other than like for a content creator. I've never understood it. It seems more of a, I don't know, when I get on there, it just seems like people are always complaining about politics. So I've shied away from Twitter for the most part, but I do have, I don't know, like almost 1,000 followers there. But I still see like some of my content creator friends who are blowing up on that app and doing really well with it. Mostly witty comments or, that kind of thing. But memes, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think those are the main things. What about you?
So for this year, I'm really gonna try to focus on more consistency with YouTube. I've been doing pretty good with Instagram. I tried the TikTok thing. I don't know. I just can't make. I don't know. I just can't. I don't know. It's hard to share anything really meaningful from my viewpoint in that short a time period. So uh, TikTok's kind of difficult for me. It's on the back burners. It's something that I want to get back to doing, but it's definitely on the back burner. But the YouTube, I definitely want to be working on that, and I really want to build more of a sense of community with the following that I have. So mostly that, and I want to do more shows and more um, demonstrations because I've been doing demonstrations for wood turning clubs and things like that, and I really like doing that and do more teaching. So, I mean, I think my list is pretty doable. The YouTube thing, I don't know why it's so pervasive for me. It's just I just keep every year. I'm like, I'm gonna do more with YouTube. I'm gonna do more with YouTube, and I seem to be doing less and less. But the fact that I'll be going full time is gonna make a big difference. The hope is that, and things are looking pretty good for this to happen. When we move, I'm gonna be possibly building my dream shop, and at that time, I'm going to build in some things that are going to help me to maintain, to help me to be more consistent. Like I'll have an area set up where I can just go there and record stuff instead of having to set up every single time. So, yeah, that's that. And, the usual stuff, spend more time with the family and all that. And I'm thinking that the move is going to really help move the goalpost forward. What you doing over there?
Yeah, so apparently my computer's unplugged. So I found it. Oh. I was like, I can't find my computer. It just said my battery's running low. I'm like, I always have it plugged in. How's my battery running low? All right, I got it. That was a scary moment there. I didn't want to interrupt you, but at the same time, I knew that I was being disruptive, and I felt bad. But
that's all good.
So, all right, I'm good. I'm good now. So here, I got a question. So you raised a few comments. One that you didn't feel like you had enough time on TikTok to get across, say, a tip or something like that. How long are your videos on Instagram that you're posting?
Well, I don't know. I don't really post tip videos on Instagram.
Okay, so let's say it's not a tip. Let's just say it's whatever you're posting on.
They're really short.
Instagram. How long is it?
Really short, like less than a minute.
Okay. So I don't understand the time argument.
I see your point.
Because TikTok is up to 3 minutes now.
Yeah, I see your point.
And really, the content could be the same content, just one is posted to, you could take the same content, post it to Instagram with its idiosyncrasies, and then you go over to TikTok and you get a completely different audience, and you post it there with whatever music background or whatever you want to do. But I think the biggest thing is to try to develop a following on TikTok, because that's where the eyes are. There's a lot more people looking at TikTok. It's by far the largest social media platform right now. So I hate when I hear people. Okay, I don't like to necessarily defend TikTok because there's definitely issues with TikTok, but I do know that that's where the eyes are. And if you're trying to grow your brand, whether that's your personal business, whether it's spraying for bugs or whether it's inspecting homes or whether it's wood turning, whatever your business is, I just feel like that's an opportunity to grow your business. One of the biggest channels that I follow is Well and Septic Life. Like he has a company doing septic work, like going out and putting in septic tanks or digging wells. And he's an entertaining guy, and he just has a good way to kind of give business advice that's entertaining in a way. And so I'm just like, I don't see any business that would not benefit from being on that platform. And the other big complaint I always hear from people is, well, I go on there and all I see is XYZ, right? Like the stuff that's fed to you that's the most popular on the platform is going to be like teenagers dancing to new songs coming out with their little 15-second dances. And I don't like that either. But for me, I've curated my views, what I watch, I've curated it so that I never see that stuff. Like if it pops up, it is a very rare thing.
Right.
I see mostly welders and wood turners and people who use lasers.
Well, to your point, and to kind of expand on it, is I just made this argument today at work. Actually, a lady was telling me that she's painting social media in general to be such a terrible thing, but it's all about what you make of it, right? It's all about how you use it. So if you don't like what you see on the social media platform, whatever social media platform, it doesn't matter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. You have to train you have to train the platform to serve up what you like, and you have to do that by disliking things and telling it, not asking it not to show you certain types of things, and over time it gets to a point where it shows you only what you want. But you know, it's just like anything else. It's a tool. I mean, it can be overused. It's just like, well, alcohol isn't a tool, but I mean, if you drink too much of it, you end up in you can end up with some real problems. But you know, if that's how you take the edge off every day, then you know what's the harm. So in one person's hands, it's harmful, in another, it's good. So I think that I think as people, we probably just need to take a broader look at things like that instead of only looking at the negative, because you make a negative out of anything. I mean, anything. Like how's that old adage go? Too much of anything, everything in moderation is good. Pretty much everything in moderation is good, and pretty much, and most things in excess are bad.
It's funny because I was just dropping off a box. You know, Chris Burton from A Glimpse Inside.
Yeah,
I was shipping him a box, and I was talking to the guy at the UPS center, and he said he doesn't do any social media, and the only thing close to social media that he does is he watches YouTube videos. So he followed me on YouTube, but he doesn't do TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. And he said, yeah, when Facebook first came out, I found that I was spending so much time on it that it was disruptive. And so I've decided to, he deleted that. He never did TikTok or Instagram. And he was young, like in his 20s. And I thought, wow, it's really, really perceptive for somebody that age to realize that it was a problem for them. Like they weren't able to use it in a way that it was beneficial. For me or you, we've fallen into it. Like we didn't seek it out. It just kind of happened. It became an organic thing where we were posting things to YouTube. Then we were like, oh, maybe we should put it on Instagram. Oh, maybe we should put it on TikTok. And well, TikTok came to me. But besides that, we learned over time that there was some benefit not only to other people because we were posting basically information for free and they were learning from that. And that for us was a positive thing, and it fed our ego or whatever. I got something from it, knowing that people were watching it and enjoyed it. And, over time as that grew, then it started becoming more positive for us, whether there was income to be made or companies wanting to work with us because we had whatever that, social media influence. But most of the stuff I've ever posted on social media has been products I bought and used and shared. And then later, more recent, some of the things are, products that I've either gotten from a sponsor or have tested out or whatever. But I always tell people, I'm like, hey, this is my sponsor. I've, have a relationship with them, but I sought it out. Almost always I've sought it out. And I know other creators feel like they should be approached,
right.
Oh, I shouldn't have to go seek them out. And the reality is, if companies were coming to me that were of the quality that I wanted to work with and I didn't have to seek them out, then I probably wouldn't. But the reality is, when you're a smaller creator, I happen to be I would consider a smaller creator. To get the eyes of companies that I want to work with, I need to approach them and say, hey, this is what I've done with other companies that I've worked with that I sought out. Or, like my plasma CNC, I bought that, and I just shared what I was doing with it. It wasn't me promoting a product. And so there's a little bit of all of it on my channel, but I always say, hey, I've got, a relationship with this company now. And I think having very varied social media accounts, I mean, Instagram could be gone tomorrow, Facebook could be gone tomorrow. It doesn't seem like it. But TikTok could be gone tomorrow. It was definitely at risk of that many times in the past year or two. So who knows?
Yeah.
I just think spreading yourself out to grow your business, or if you're pursuing a social media style business, then it's smart.
Well, it's a good point. And those are things that I have on the agenda to look into a little bit more heavily when I don't have a 40-hour week job to do too. So I'm
Yes,
working.
6 months from now, it'll be a whole different story.
Yeah, it's gonna be something else because I get. I mean, I can only imagine. I haven't done it before, so I don't have any. I don't have any experience to pull from, but I do know that it is a real challenge. Because by the time I get home from work, it's like 3, 4 hours maybe that you have to be able to do anything really. I mean, that's it, and it comes on. It comes. See, it feels like it comes suddenly and leaves suddenly, kind of like the weekend or vacation. So with that, it's hard to get involved in anything else because it's hard to maintain what I'm already doing. A lot of times, I have a real hard time just maintaining the few platforms that I am doing. So I am really looking forward to the changes. Although I'm not really looking forward to the time in between now and then because uh, I'm gonna try to like start moving in a certain direction, but at the same time, I still have the day job, and on top of that, I have all of the stresses and concerns that come with moving and buying a house. And this is the first time I've ever moved across state lines. So there's a lot of big scaries in my path, but that's okay because a lot
That's
of times.
funny. You've lived in Florida your whole life. I forgot about that.
Well, I lived in Georgia for a little while, but I was a student, and
Oh,
it's
that's yeah.
it's different.
DeVry.
Yeah, it's different. I didn't have to change my license. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. I was essentially a Florida resident who was living and attending school in another state, but it didn't change my residency. I wasn't married. I didn't have kids. I didn't have a whole house full of stuff. In fact, I drove a Toyota Tercel and I moved all of my stuff to Georgia in a Toyota Tercel. So I mean, it is a vastly different. It's going to be a vastly different experience from anything we've done before. I mean, we've moved the house. My wife and I have been married a long time. We've lived in. I think this is the second house, third house that we've owned, and we've lived in several rentals in the 25 years that we've been married. And but we've never moved across state lines. I mean, we moved from Gainesville to back to Volusia County after my wife finished school, but that's about as far as we've gone. And yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's funny. As long as my wife and I have had kids, for sure, and a few years before that, or at least 1 year before that, we've had this house. We bought it in '98. My first kid was born in 2000. So we've been in this house. I mean, and as bad, like, how normal life, you build and accumulate stuff. When you're a content creator, it's like 10 times the stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about moving ever. I mean, I want to move. I want to buy, 100 acres with a 200,000 square foot, shop, and a 1,000 square foot house, but maybe not 200,000, maybe 20,000. No, 5,000 square foot shop would be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the idea. I get it. Like, you've got a laser to move. You've got, I don't know how many pounds your lathe is, but you've got not one lathe, but what, 6 or 7?
Yeah.
That's a lot to move. Yeah. I mean, hopefully you make it.
Yeah. Listen. Listen. I have never shied away from a challenge. I am fully up for it. It's just, I say big scaries trying have to be funny and half seriously.
Sure.
It's just a lot. It's very they're very much impending unknowns, right? And that's really what amounts to scary for somebody my age right now. It's just like all these unknowns. It's like, well, how do I do this and how do I do that? And is this the same there? Is that, my wife is going to have to move her career up there. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that has to go on there with certifications for being a teacher. There's, all kinds of considerations with buying a house. I never bought a house in another state. Maybe it's the same. I don't know. But
it's probably not that much different. But yeah, I understand. I get it.
The other thing, too, is I really have to put my trust and faith in somebody else because they have to do the vast majority of the scouting for me. I can look at the listings and things, but I can't just pick up and drive to South Carolina every time a listing grabs my eye. I have to. We've been trying to develop a relationship with our realtor up there, and like I send her listings and I tell her, here's this listing. This would be perfect because, and I list all the reasons why, kind of trying to like give her a better idea of exactly what we're looking for. That right there, because usually when I bought houses before, I've always been in control, like I scout it out, I have the realtor come and let us in and I'm kind of running the show, but I can't do that. I can, but I can't. It's not going to be the same. So it's just a lot of new stuff, and that's okay, because new stuff is how we grow. So like my buddy George used to say, every day is school day.
Every day is a school day?
Yeah, every day is school day. If you breathe and you learn it.
Yeah.
So,
it's true.
All right. Well, we're rolling up on an hour.
I was gonna say, yeah, we probably hit about an hour now. Yeah, I was looking down because I was trying to see if I could pull up the live, and I'm not sure what to search under.
I can see. I have it going on a screen over here.
I have it on my computer, and I could have flipped over, but I was just trying to see if I could find it on my phone. And it's funny because I'm subscribed, but it didn't pop up a subscription notification.
Maybe you didn't click the bell.
Maybe. Probably. Most likely.
So before we come back, I'm going to work on a couple of things. Like I'm going to work on some art elements for graphic elements for our production here, and making this background look better than that. So, your background looks pretty cool. You got what is that? Corrugated metal back there.
Yeah, it's just my shop, so it's a little bit of everything.
You got all kinds of textures going.
Wine barrels, and
you got a banner with your logo on it. You looking all official. This is the first. Yeah. This is the first time I've ever done any video stuff from any location in the house outside of the shop. So. Yeah,
because before we didn't produce the video.
No, we did not.
And we just did it audio only. Then,
most days I was in the shop. Most of the time I was in the shop then too.
Yeah, so when we were doing the podcast before, I was on the opposite side of that wall behind us, and it's just a tiny little room, and it was actually my office when I owned my other business, and I had converted it into that was a laser room, and then lasers outgrew that room, so now this is the laser room, and that's powder coating, so it's
okay.
Where I put my time has definitely changed.
Yeah. Well, so I'm looking forward to this. I feel like today we had some good conversation. For those of you that are watching, we're working on our value statement, and what making time is going to be this time around, and we're going to work real hard to make it stick around longer than it did last time.
Yeah. So I think, we were talking about all the things like value statement and taglines and, what we want the podcast to kind of roll, how we want it to roll. And we said, if we spend all of our time thinking about that and trying to figure that out, we'll end up not putting the podcast up ever because we'll constantly, now it's going to be a little more organic. And as we start figuring out those things, we can add and implement.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll improve as we go through it.
Yeah, and we also, we're going to try to do some cool stuff, like have some guests and things like that too at some point. So, stick with us. These first few shows are going to be a little something extra. But we're gonna work. We're gonna work really hard, as we can, at making this, a valuable part of your maker community experience.
Drive time listening pleasure.
Yeah, that. So,
well, it's good
all right.
talking to you, man.
Yeah, same here, and thanks for making time. I'm gonna work on that.
A nice
Thanks
transition.
time to make time. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, Chad.
Man.
So let's go ahead and end it here. For those of you, we didn't have any live guests, but we also didn't do much in the way of advertising, so we'll correct that for next time. And so if you're watching this, thanks for sticking through and watching us stumble through our first episode, and onward to bigger and better things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.